We got some bad news for Battlefield fans once again. It seems to be like a trend. I don't know. 3 classic Battlefield games are being delisted on older consoles. Tom Ivan, BGC. Battlefield 3 from 2011. Battlefield 4, 2013. Battlefield Hardline, 2015. And all related DLC will no longer be purchasable digitally on these consoles from July 31st. Scott, which one's your favorite?
Oh, out of those 3, it has to be Battlefield 4. That's a pretty easy decision to make, actually.
Online services for these games on these systems will end November 7th, 2024, but owners will still be able to play their single-player components after this date. Quote, Battlefield 3 will still be available for PC for play, end quote, EA said. Quote, Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline will still be available to play on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, end quote. Battlefield Bad Company 2008, Battlefield 1943 from 2009, and Battlefield Bad Company 2 from 2010 were delisted from digital storefronts last April, and online services for the titles closed in December. EA recently announced that Dead Space remake and Star Wars Squadrons studio Motive has joined its wider Battlefield development team. Dude, they're all in on... You know what they're doing right now? They're doing what Activision did and just putting everybody on Call of Duty, except here, it's all on Battlefield.
Yeah, after 2042's awful launch, they really had to buckle down and put all hands on deck for this new one.
Absolutely. Motive is working alongside fellow EA studios DICE, Criterion, and Ripple Effect to create a, quote, a Battlefield universe across connected multiplayer experiences and single player, end quote, the publisher said. It also confirmed that Battlefield 2042 Season 7 Turning Point, which launched in March, would be the game's last. Scott, we're not done yet because Battlefield 2042 is getting a limited time crossover with Dead Space next week. Well, that's a bit of a surprise. This is Michael Kripe over at IGN. Battlefield 2042 is keeping its post-launch content rolling with a surprise Dead Space crossover event. The limited time event, which has been given the name Outbreak, brings more than just an Isaac Clarke-like engineer skin for players to enjoy. EA and DICE say the mode will see squads, quote, tested by their human resilience and resourcefulness against a new and relentless enemy, all while trying to escape the Boris laboratory, end quote. God, it looked like a horde mode, didn't it?
It did look like a horde mode, actually. And I'm remembering part of the preview event for Season 7, I believe, did show a bit of this kind of supernatural effect. What's going on in that place, that Boreas place.
His first trailer shows enemies that cross between necromorphs and standard zombies, rushing players as they use non-plasma cutter weaponry to cut them down. The Battlefield 2042 Dead Space crossover event runs from July 9th through July 16th. Scott, you're jumping in, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is, I don't need any excuse to jump back into Battlefield. I've always been a fan, but this is definitely some motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts on the fact that we're now losing more Battlefield games, though?
Yeah, so at first my thought is like, oh, this does really sting because some of those games I had, well, not exactly. I was going to say I had grown up with. I didn't grow up with Battlefield 1943, but Bad Company and Bad Company 2 explains a lot of my time spent outside of high school. So to see those be sunset is a little bit sad, but it kind of just reminds me that I had already said goodbye to those games and I was waiting for number 3. And this is nowhere near a confirmation that we're going to get a Battlefield Bad Company 3, but I have to hope that some of this news being back in the news will cause some of an outcry for that once more. But I did recently as about a year ago, I think, about half a year ago, went through and played Battlefield 3, 4, and I didn't go back to Hardline. But I made sure to go through and play the single player because that's what I remember. That's the stuff I really liked, and that's what was missing for 2042.
You have it, you're good to go. But if you're looking to purchase it, now you're in trouble. It's not going to happen. Here's my question, my concern moving forward. Scott, you delete, say, Battlefield 3. You need space, right? We're in a digital age, dude. There's not enough space to put all my games on my console. Gotta clear some space.
No, you have Call of Duty and then a couple images, and that's all.
Dude, I go to the store, right? I go to my games library, and I'm gonna download Battlefield 3, but it's not there. That is a concern, right? That is the concern about this digital age.
It won't be in the store, but it should be in your list still.
You would think so. Hence, Horizon Zero Dawn. I went to download not too long ago, and it's not there. But if I want to purchase the complete edition, then I could. I'm like, yo, I beat this a long time ago.
Actually, you bring up a good point there, because talking about Battlefield being a combined multi-universe, multiplayer connected experience, that does have me worried, because what if it is just moving it from one storefront to another? But therefore it's a different version. I'm going to have to buy it again if I want to.
That's the problem, right? They delist that SKU, combine it and twist it into a new SKU. No longer do you own that SKU. That SKU is now banished, right? It's gone. You can't get it. That happened to me trying to play Horizon. I was like, yo, we were doing something. We were covering something. I think it was maybe Burning Shores DLC, but I wanted to go back in Horizon 1, take a look at something first, but I couldn't get it. Dude, I could not get my game. I was like, this is a problem. Very big problem.
Yeah, that's rotten. I spent a lot of time at my my local EB when it unwound, buying a lot of the physicals there, so you can't take it all away from me, but
yeah, the digital age is definitely a little concerning, right? But at the same point, you gotta wonder, has everybody, or at least most people, jumped into 2042 now and are playing that, and that's why they're delisting Battlefield 3, 4, and Hardline, is because, dude, you can't keep the servers on for nothing, right?
Yeah, it must be a server and resource issue. That's what I can imagine. Part of putting every developer onto Battlefield is same thing, strip away everything they're not using, and I'd be very curious to see what the player numbers are for these 3 games.
Yeah, if there's anything there at all. I think, right?
Yeah.
2011, dude, is an old game at this point. When we're now in 2024, and you take a look at what we're playing, even when it comes to Battlefield 2042, how good that game looks, right? But, and a classic is a classic. I'm still playing Blacklist, Splinter Cell Blacklist. Like, yo,
man, that's right.
Woo, the game is incredible.
When did that game come out?
A long time
That might
ago.
be 2011 as well.
Yeah, right. But that's the last time we got a Splinter Cell game. Don't get me going on that, but that's a whole other story. So it's one of those things, right? It's concerning. I just happen to have it. I think I actually went and bought it again so I could download it and then keep it. And it's just, man, if you have these games, sometimes you wonder if you should actually delete them at all. We want to hear from you, though. ITGTV.com. What Battlefield game are you playing? Have you jumped in 2042, and are you sticking around?